Well, all right, guys, welcome to another episode of Cringeostrophic Disclosure, or How's My Belly Doing? Anyway, so this is day 2 of going back onto microlesion therapy and setbacks. Yeah, look at that. That is absolutely floppy and disgusting. How did that happen, you may ask? Well, although I went onto microlesion therapy, for the past 2 days, I've had solid foods. That's right. I'm usually not on solid food. I don't eat that much solid food. It's mostly like powder and stuff like that, protein powder, and then fruits and vegetables. So it's like mostly not solid at all. But the last couple of days, I had a lot of tofu in solid form, and that obviously affected how my belly looks. But also, just because you start on microlesion therapy, nothing's going to just start working immediately. So only day 2, and yes, setbacks. It looks worse than yesterday if you go back and look at the video. However, that shouldn't stop you from trying more, right? So we have a whole week to see how this is going, and if it goes well, we'll do 2 weeks. The other thing is, recently I watched an episode of, what's his name? Something Doucet. Anyway, Coach Greg Doucet. And there's this crazy person, and he's doing only one side of his body. He's only exercising one side of his body, which I think is crazy. Now, when you see me, I have more weight on the left than I do on the right. That's because my right arm was greatly smaller than my left, and so I've had to balance it out, trying to get that symmetry in. I've got funky legs, I've got all kinds of stuff, but I'm trying to get the symmetry back. And this kid is doing the opposite. He's trying to mess himself completely up, and nobody really knows. It's an interesting case study. But what happens if you have a very athletic one side and a non-athletic side on the other side when you are still a kid? How does that affect your overall growth? I don't know. So some of those things could be irreversible, so definitely do not recommend you doing that. In fact, the whole point of trying to become more symmetric is to avoid things like that. Anywho, you see that bones here are getting better. That's progress.
Likey